Howdy there YouTube, welcome back for another episode of Airgotten Weapons. Today we're going to take a look at the G36 series of airsoft guns. Got some from Umarex and the older style to show some of the differences and some of the varieties that you can get in the G36 line. I've also got this UMP here I'll use for comparison purposes. Sometimes you'll find that uninformed sellers, especially ones that sell bulk parts, will confuse the SL9, the G36, and the UMP quite often. Especially with the lower receivers, because once they're apart from the gun it's really hard to tell unless you know what to look for. So we'll just start out by saying you can see on this lower that on the UMP it includes the mag well. So if your lower that you're looking to buy for your UMP doesn't have the mag well, it's probably not for a UMP. The SL9 has a straight section here you can see behind the selector, whereas the G36 has this bump down, as you can see there. The mag wells between the SL9 and the Umarex Aries G36 and the older JG style G36, they all interchange. You can swap them in and out. The pin is a little bit tight if you reuse one of the JG style pins. It's a little bit tight on the Umarex. And so these top sections, it's kind of fun to use these because you can kit bash them fairly easily. Like the parts interchange somewhat. So like I put this KV 3X magnifier on my SL9 here. And then I put this SL9 forend on this G36. I also put the flat top that was on the SL9. I basically swapped these. And to get these SL9 front ends onto your G36, what you have to do is extend this groove all the way through. And the rails that are inside, if you see them, those two rails in the front there, that's what sets the depth and also keeps it from moving downwards. So they have to be on there for retention purposes. But all I did was took a Dremel with a cutter, a round disc cutter, and just extended the slot on both sides. So you can see here that the barrel is attached with a nut, and that's the main difference. There's a different trunnion inside as well, but the hop-ups actually will go in and twist just fine between the two versions. This is the JG version. I've got a lathe turn retention pin that I made for the handguard, just using a piece of aluminum and a piece of spring steel. This one I've got a custom dimpled suppressor that I turned. But you can see here these 4 bolts. That's what holds on the JG style. And you can see it's got this little tab here to hold the battery forward. These parts do not interchange. So if you're going to build some G36s, just be sure that you know whether or not it's the JG style or the Umarex style. Because as you can see, these parts, there's not even anywhere to mount any of that stuff here. The stocks are all pretty much the same. You can see this gun is still in process. Stocks interchange. They don't interchange between the UMP though, although you can find UMPs with G36 stocks. They're made specifically for that. You can see it's got a different hinge assembly there. But other than that, you can get them with just the sights. You can get it flat top. You can get it with the carry handle and the sights. I haven't tested whether or not the bolt covers interchange. I'm going to find out though, because this one needs one, and I have an extra one on this body. This is just a body. There's no gearbox in it, although I have an extra one. All in all, they shoot really well if you get the barrel and the hop-up set up properly. These SL9s are infamous for that. So if you get one, just pretty much be prepared to take it apart right off the bat. The gearboxes, the Aries gearboxes, are pretty much junk. Of the 3 that I got, all 3 either had broken gears or some other major malfunction. So they're pretty much junk. And I don't know if that was just the run of them. They fixed it later on. I don't know if this is an early or late one. But all 3 gearboxes were trash. So be prepared for that. But the JG style are just regular version 3 gearboxes with a different cylinder head and selector plate. Putting the gearboxes into the lowers can be a little tricky, but there's lots of videos already on all that, so I'm not going to cover too much of the technical side. Just kind of give you an overview. That's really what this is all about. A lot of these, the Umarex ones come with blowback, and that's really easy to disable. You just pull the rear screw out that has the little round ring on it, and pull that metal bar out and put that ring and screw back in there, and you're good to go. No more blowback. That's what I did to that one. And this one. So, yeah. The fore ends are a little tricky, but they can be worked around. I can even fit one of these regular ones on this long barreled one if I wanted to. But I kind of like the look of this SL9 version, so I'm going to keep that on there. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this. I don't really have too many projects. I need to build some anti-active braking MOSFETs, one for this one and one for this one, because I took the anti-reversal latches out of them. Because, you know, that's just the way it is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode and hope to see you at the next one. Thanks. And for today's extra content, I'll get that right one of these times. I've got these World War II binoculars, U.S. Navy busships, Mark 33 Mod 0, Universal Camera Corp, 1943. This side is still good. This side's got a chip in it, but it's still pretty cool. This cord came with it. I found this in my grandfather's filing cabinet, and I had this cord on there, so I just left it on there. I figured it had some kind of significance. If he left it on there, then I should probably leave it on there. Pretty cool. I wonder what it saw. Anyway, thanks for watching.